All right, welcome to part 4 of the importance of digital preservation. So, the question that was asked is, how do I distinguish digital noise from true digital legacy? And I think that's a good question. I'm going to speak about what my answer is, but then when I was thinking about it, I'm going to add a little bit more to this answer. I think it's up to the person who's accessing the digital content to define what is just noise to them and what really leaves an impact within their mind and heart that might even cause a change in a person's behavior or way of thinking. So, and what that is, it's going to change over time depending on how old we are, what our interests are, and all of that. So, I guess to me, that could be anything. Digital content is so wide and vast. It could be a video game, it could be a movie, it could be somebody sharing their own personal experiences, it could be an audiobook or a podcast. So that really opens the door very wide. So how might I even narrow what I consider noise versus legacy? Well, that made me think. I wrote a book called Highest Possibility States, and I always say that there are three questions that I ask myself about, is this really going to make an impact for me, whether it's just entertainment value or something deeper than that? Or could this actually be hurting me? So the first question is, how does the digital media make my body feel? If it makes my body feel positive, then I will keep listening and watching and take it into my own system, right? But if I feel like it's super negative, I change the channel. Because to me, I'm also the gatekeeper of my own mind, and I truly believe that what we let into our eyes and our ears and our consciousness will affect what I like to call it does affect our subconscious, or what I like to call our autopilot. If we're constantly hearing negative things, then our mind, first of all, it's science, it's not just woo-woo. The neurons within our brain are going to continuously carve a negative path within our mind, similar to when you're walking in a forest or on a grassy field. Where you keep walking, that grass is going to get worn away. So that's one thing I think about. How does this digital information, make my body feel? I apologize for coughing, but for those of you who don't know, I do have cancer. So that's where that comes from. Number 2, will this information make me, as well as those around me, more or less functional over time? Or you could even say at least neutral, okay? So for some people, they can handle a glass of wine a day, a hit from a joint now and then. Some people can watch horror movies or play video games that are like shoot 'em ups and things like that. And some of those things can seem fun at the time. But sometimes as that negativity or that craving increases, it can actually be devastating over time. That's why it's really imperative not just to ask yourself how the digital media makes you think and feel in that very specific time, but how does it make you feel over time? And then also I incorporate, how does it make other people feel around you? Because if you are so obsessed with digital media that you can't put your phone down and you can't have real relationships around you, then I consider that noise instead of a legacy. So that's also going to require some reflection and some data collection over time. You could either keep a journal, you could keep a note on your phone, or there are apps that you can actually download that measure your mood. Not that it's digital media, but for example, I have cancer and I keep a notebook. And I found actually by messing with what I call the algorithm of all these medications and other things that I could do or have access to, I think I finally found an algorithm or a pattern that really kind of keeps my symptoms more under control over time. Is it always great within the moment? Part of my algorithm or pattern is that I have to like kind of eat boiled vegetables and potatoes almost every day and not really go too far from that. No, it doesn't, but it's worth it over time where I'm not feeling horrible, right? So you got to kind of consider those things as well. So gather your data. How does it make your body feel? How will that digital information make you feel as well as others around you over time? And then number 3, is that digital media either the ones that you are putting out or even the ones that you're taking in? Because believe it or not, a lot of us will actually start hearing those voices and characters within our mind, subconsciously or consciously. So is that digital media that either you are putting out or that you are consuming causing you to be seen the way that you want to be seen? So on one hand, not caring what other people think about us can really liberate us from like fear and guilt and anger and all that stuff. But on the other hand, if these new ideas and thoughts and behaviors are causing people around you to see you in a light that you do not wish to be seen in, if that's the case, then you want to consider whether the digital media that you're either putting out or taking in is really serving your highest possibility state and the other people around you or not. Many times people will hide the thoughts and the behaviors or even some of the digital media that they are taking in to their bodies and to their minds because they're afraid that they're going to be judged or they're going to be hurt by the people that they love the most. It can be very, very tricky to determine what thoughts and emotions are serving your highest good, as well as the people around you that you love and care about, because sometimes they might go against mainstream belief and other people's comfort levels. But the same thing can be said for the lowest possibility state as well. The answer comes from how you answer your questions, as well as going back and thinking about and reflecting upon the top things and people that you say are important to you and why. So I would say, in addition to what is just noise and what's a legacy, I also ask people to think about their top 3 to 5 things that they say are the most important to them. Then I also have them create another list of the top 3 to 5 things that they spend their most time on. And then I ask them, do these match? So is the digital stuff that either you are putting out or taking into your body and the amount of time you're doing it match with the top 3 to 5 things that you say are most important to you? And if they do, and it's making you feel good and it's helping other people around you, then I say it is legacy and not just noise. So that's my long answer for how I distinguish digital noise versus true digital legacy. Join me next time as I answer What would I want someone to take away from my writings or the digital content that I put out?